So I went to the thrift store over the weekend, and lo and behold, after several days of not finding anything worth picking up, I finally find this. Now this, it may look familiar to anyone who is subscribed to V Westlife's channel, because V Westlife actually had a computer that looked just like this. However, this is basically that compact Walmart PC, whatever the model was, I don't even remember. This is basically the little brother of that computer, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Let's take a look at the computer and let's see what we got here. So on the front we have a LightScribe optical drive, very common drive from computers from this era. Here is the specs sticker here if you want to pause and read that. We've got an AMD Athlon X2 4800 dual-core CPU, optical drive, DVD, CD burner with LightScribe, which if you're not sure what LightScribe is, it lets you make your own custom CD labels by engraving them onto the CD, 3 GB of RAM, 320 GB hard drive, and people are texting me, and a NVIDIA GeForce 6150 SE graphics chip. Also comes with Norton Internet Security 2008 and 1 year of Compaq support. Here's the front access connectivity sticker, TRS jacks for microphone in and headphone out, 2 USB 2.0 ports, Compaq logo, power button, full Compaq logo, case stickers here, can't be a PC without those. That is the price I paid. I paid $10 for this. Go ahead and have a look at the back. There's the power supply up here. Then you have your 4 expansion slots here, with one of which is populated with a modem. Probably I would be very surprised if that was not a 56K. Line in, headphone out, and microphone TRS jacks. Gigabit Ethernet here, 4 USB 2.0 ports, VGA, 15-pin VGA here, and of course PS2 keyboard and mouse ports. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and set the camera down, and we'll take a look inside, and you'll see just how basic this computer really is. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the one screw here. There's one screw that holds the side panel on. Take a look at the manufacture date there. It looks like August 16th, 2009. As you can see, I haven't dusted this computer out yet, but I will be doing that in a future video, maybe off camera. I don't know yet. Some people enjoy me dusting computers out, but I need to get more compressed air anyways. So let's take a look at the computer's interior. I believe the motherboard is actually made by Asus, because it's got, that's the, I'm just turning the camera, you can't see it now. But that is the M2N68-LA motherboard, which I believe is made by Asus, but you can correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. So there is our power supply. It is a Lite-On model PS5251-08, 250 watt output. Here is our optical drive, which is SATA, and surprisingly, they used a Molex to SATA power adapter here. When actually they did that for the hard drive too. So this wow, that's quite peculiar, because for a computer from 2009, you would think the power supply would have built-in SATA power, but it doesn't. They had to use Molex to SATA power adapters to put SATA drives in here. Wow. I wonder when this, well, it says date code there, but I was going to say this power supply must be from, this must be an older power supply. There's our hard drive in there. There's our CPU underneath that heat sink and fan there. And interestingly enough, this is actually uses a 20-pin power connector for the motherboard, for power on the motherboard. Yet the motherboard has a 24-pin connector here too. So that's kind of interesting that they didn't use a power supply with a 24-pin connector. I believe right there would be our floppy connector, but there is no room in this case for a floppy drive. As you can see by this, all this empty space here, you can't even put any, well, you could put a second optical drive in, but you'd have to take the front sticker off, and yeah, that's, wow. There's an IDE channel here, 2 SATA channels on the motherboard, which you can't really see because of those wires. There's our 3 gigs of RAM. Our PCIe times 1 modem. Yeah, who would have thought they would have made a PCIe times 1 modem card? I'm surprised it even has that. It does, however, have a PCIe times 16 slot, so if I wanted to put a graphics card in here, that's a possibility. And 2 32-bit PCI slots there. Here's the rear fan. Not terribly dusty, but could use a little bit of cleaning. So now, we're going to go ahead and put this thing back together, and we'll go ahead and fire it up and see what we get. And there is the product sticker too. This is the Compaq 5610F computer, or SR5610F up there, as you can see up there. There is the Windows Vista Home Premium product key. If you can decipher that, you can have it. Let's get a good shot of the COA there. You probably won't be able to use it anyways, but who knows. Alright, let's go ahead and power this thing up, and let's see what we get. 3, 2, 1, go. So we can get into the BIOS first. F10 for setup. Okay, let's go into setup. F11 for system recovery, so we'll probably be using that. There is a BIOS password. Oh boy. Well, we can clear that by simply removing the CMOS chip. Hopefully there's no boot password set, but if there is, I think I have a workaround for it. See what we're going to boot into here. Is there anything in the CD-ROM drive? No, there's not. Let's see if we can start Windows normally here. Looks like it is Vista. Wonder if it's the original installation. It's probably password protected, considering that the BIOS was password protected. Doesn't matter because I'm going to be wiping this computer anyways. And we have a corrupt install of Windows Vista. So, well, that sucks, but you know what? What we're going to do is we're going to go into system recovery anyways and reformat this. So, I'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and reset the BIOS password. Alright, so I was able to clear the BIOS password just by, because fortunately this computer actually had a CMOS reset jumper, so I went ahead and just cleared that out, and so the BIOS password has been cleared. The time is not correct. Let's see, can I fix it? Or do I have to select it? The date's not right either, but... Alright, well, let's see what we got here. So we got the hard drive there, optical drive here. Doesn't even tell me what kind of processor it is. That's sort of weird. 3 gigabytes of RAM, it looks like. Excuse me. Primary video adapter set to PCI. Wonder why it's not set to onboard. Well, I'm not going to change it because I mean it works. So. Onboard audio is enabled, SATA controller, well why would I disable that? IDE controller is enabled, onboard LAN, yeah we don't want to boot from LAN, onboard LAN is enabled, PS2 mouse auto detect, no user passwords anymore, stay off after failure. I do want to turn virtualization technology on. Boot diagnostic screen, no. Okay, exit saving changes. Let's try system recovery and let's see if we can boot into system recovery. Because I noticed this had a corrupt installation of Vista on it, and I really don't care what kind of, I really don't care if, I don't care if there's personal data on here. I want it wiped anyways. Required device is inaccessible, so we can't actually boot into the boot menu. So let's see here. Was the hard drive even spinning? The hard drive may be no good, or maybe on its last legs. But what we can do is we can try reinstalling Vista, doing a fresh install, and see if that works. So we'll give that a try and see if that works. Well, I went ahead and tried Startup Repair, and nothing works because it claims that the hard drive is inaccessible. The good news is that I believe the hard drive is detected. In fact, let's go back into setup just to make sure. So the hard drive may be on its last legs. Oh, and there's the CPU type. I didn't even notice that before. AMD Athlon 64X2 dual core. Yep, there it is. But you know what we're going to try? We're going to see if we can get Windows 7 on here. Because, honestly, I don't really want to bother too much with Vista. So what I'll do, I'll get my Windows 7 64-bit disk. Yes, this is legitimate installation media. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the drive. And let's see if we can load Windows 7. Let's see if we can boot into Windows 7 and get that installed on this computer. If not, I do have a spare hard drive that I could throw in. So, alright, so we want to boot off of the CD-ROM. If I can press the right key, there we go. There we go. So let's see if we can't get Windows 7 on here. Yes, I am working from home at the time of this recording, so forgive my silence sometimes. I'm trying to record October's video and work at the same time, so I just sometimes when business is sort of slow, I take the time to make these videos because I know you guys enjoy these videos. So, alright, let's see if we can boot into Windows 7, and let's see if it even detects the hard drive. And yes, this is an upgrade copy of Windows 7, but if it detects Vista, it should still let us upgrade. So, as long as, seeing as probably if we format the partition first. So, alright, well, it looks like we know it can boot off the CD because we're booted into Windows 7 setup here. So let's hit install now, and let's see if it even detects the hard drive. I really hate to blow away the recovery partition, but if it's corrupted, possibly due to I looked it up. Okay, yeah, here we go. So here's the Vista installation here. There is a recovery partition here. So, okay, so we know that the drive is detected because Windows does detect the drive. I can't even launch Startup Repair. The problem is, I do have a Vista disk. Off camera, I did try putting a Vista disk in this computer and running Startup Repair, but unfortunately it did not work. It claimed it was incompatible. So, well, here's what I'll do. Here's what we'll do. Because this computer was infected with malware, I took the drive out and put it into a sled and plugged it into my MacBook Air, and I found a bunch of malware on the drive. So my theory here is that this computer was infected with malware, and it corrupted the it corrupted the OS and corrupted the recovery partition as well. So while I hate to blow away the recovery partition, well, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'm going to format just the compact partition. We're just going to format the compact partition. There we go. I'm going to leave the factory image there, so if I do ever want to go back to Vista and I want to throw my hat in the ring trying to repair that, I'll go ahead and do that. But for now, let's go ahead and hit continue. And let's go ahead and get Windows 7 installed because, you know, Vista... I guess while Windows 7 is installing, let me go ahead and let me just check my email, make sure nothing came in. Okay, yep, nothing yet. So while we install Windows 7, let me tell you, I wanted to tell you my story about Windows Vista and Windows 7. Basically, I was very psyched when Windows Vista first came out back in 2006. My great uncle Arthur, may he rest in peace, was the man. He was not only the man who inspired me to become a tech myself, but he also inspired me to have an adventure. And but all that aside, we were really excited when Windows Vista was coming out. I mean, we were testing Longhorn betas day and night. And when Vista did come out in 2006, when it went to RTM, Uncle Arthur and I had a hell of a time. We spent literally 3 hours, yes, I said that, 3 hours on the telephone talking about the unique features to Windows Vista and what a departure it was from Windows XP. And honestly, I'll never see those days ever again. A, because Uncle Arthur has since passed on, and B, because Microsoft does not make Windows anymore. So it's like, and I know what you're all going to say, and I say this in almost every video I record, but I'm going to keep saying it until Microsoft reverses their decision to make Windows 10 the last version. I am not at all a fan of Windows as a service. I'm just not. It's just, I think Microsoft is being lazy and just and saying, you know what, we're not going to make Windows anymore, we're just going to update an existing version of Windows. And that sort of takes the fun away from, you know, the past, where all you had to do was, you know, when you were getting, like, I remember when Windows 8 was coming out, I was testing every beta I could get my hands on, including the Windows Developer Preview. Yep, that's right, folks, I had an old Dell Optiplex GX270, which was actually featured in a previous video titled Windows 7 Starter on a Dell Optiplex GX270. I'll put that up in the cards if I can remember to do that, because lately I haven't been able to remember much. But yeah, no, I'm just not a fan of Windows as a service. It's like when you update to the next build of Windows 10, it's almost like, wow, it looks exactly the same as the previous build. And I kind of liked it when Microsoft changed up their operating system and just released new versions of Windows every 3 to 4 years. It put more fun into working with Windows. And unfortunately, these days, I just don't get that same type of fun as I did back in the day. It just, you know, playing with the betas, you know, talking with friends, just trying to, you know, just playing around and seeing what might be in the next version of Windows. Those days are over. And, you know, so Microsoft, as always, if you're listening and you want to take my advice, I would suggest you start making Windows the way we all remember Windows being, because, you know, I just don't like Windows as a service. It's just, I just don't think it's feasible. But what do I know? Anyway, so then as far as getting on with Windows 7, well, I forgot to tell my Vista story first. Vista, like Windows Me, there was only one computer that I ever had a problem with Vista on. And that was my Toshiba Satellite A305 S6905. And that computer just would not run Vista. No matter, I mean, it came with Vista Home Premium like this computer did, but Vista just refused to work at all on that computer. Like, it just would not function. And because basically what would happen is, it would work for 5 minutes, it would freeze up, I'd get the BSOD, and the system would have to restart. I probably restored from the recovery partition on that thing at least 5 times. And Vista, it had the same behaviors. And ultimately I ended up going to Windows 7 on it, because, and then once I went up to Windows 7, I just never had a problem with it. But that was the only computer I ever had a problem with Vista on. Every other Vista machine I had back in the day worked perfectly fine. Actually, that's not true, because remember, and I'll put a link to this in the cards as well, a video entitled The Vista Capable Experience proved that a Vista capable Fujitsu Lifebook P1610 was incapable of running Windows Vista. So I forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that, but yes, that machine just could not run Windows Vista either. So, and, you know, Windows 7 was more optimized and, you know, had a cleaner look, and I'm not saying I hate Vista. No. I mean, Vista, once you install at least Service Pack 1, Vista is almost as stable as Windows 7. The problem was, by the time they had fixed the flaws in Vista, Windows 7 was already out, and people just said, well, what's the point in going to Vista? So, that's why Windows Vista ended up being a flop. But, yeah, Windows 7, I have never had a problem with Windows 7. And, you know, even though it's officially unsupported as of January 14th of this year, you know, I still run Windows 7 on some of my computers because Windows 7 isn't truly dead yet, because Microsoft is still supporting it on federally certified voting machines. Certain customers get free Windows 7 patches, and of course then there's the paid security updates until Windows 8 end of life. But honestly, I think Windows 7 is, I think that Windows 7 is not truly dead, or will not truly be dead, quote-unquote, until Windows 8 reaches its end of life in a little under 3 years. So, anyways, looks like the computer's rebooting. That was a very fast install. Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say my mom's just texting me, and I'm just looking at my watch because I'm always worried that someone from work is gonna text me. But the good thing is I don't have to be on call at this job, so hey, there's a plus, right? All right, looks like we're booting into the OS. We'll see if we can actually boot into it. There we go. Alright, well, you know, honestly, I don't really care that I just nuked that Vista installation, because, quite frankly, I mean, I don't know how well Vista would have run on here, but I'm pretty sure that that had all sorts... In fact, no, I know it had people's documents and files on it because I plugged the drive into a sled. I just did that off camera because, you know... I mean, it wasn't really... I mean, I didn't want... I mean, I figured there would be personal documents. There were, like, me, Madison and I, or, you know, Emily and me. It's like, seriously, people, just wipe the damn drive before you give your computer away. Even if your Windows installation is corrupt, or whatever OS you happen to have loaded, even if it's corrupted, wipe the frickin' hard drive. I mean... This is probably the 6th computer in a row that I've gotten from a thrift store where the hard drive was not wiped. No joke whatsoever. And, you know, I mean, Vista, you know, it's like, you know, good riddance to the Vista installation, but honestly, I think, you know, with 3 gigabytes of RAM, a 320 gig hard drive, I think this could actually be a nice home theater PC, this compact, because, you know, like I said, right now we're installing Windows 7 on it, and, you know, I mean, this would make a nice home theater computer, because you could add a TV tuner to work with Media Center, even though Media Center is sort of a thing of the past these days. But yeah, I mean, I see a lot of potential with a computer like this. There's home theater PC capabilities. There's you know, older games would probably run well on here. So, you know, that's why I've decided to put Windows 7 on here, although, like I said, I preserved the original recovery partition, so if I ever want to bother trying to repair that, I'm sure I could, but it's probably unsalvageable just because this computer did have a malware infection. I already forgot the name of the malware, but yeah, no, I just figured, you know, it might just be better if I just wipe the drive clean and install Windows 7 fresh, and then just, you know, go from there. So we're at the completing installation phase of the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here, and I will come back once I've entered my product key, because yes, normally I would give away Windows 7 product keys, but even though, because Windows 7 is out of support, but because Windows 7 product keys can be used to install and activate Windows 10, I unfortunately am not going to be able to give away Windows 7 product keys. If you couldn't read the Vista product key, I'll go ahead and take another I'll go ahead and get another shot of the COA, just so that you guys can have that Vista product key, because I know Microsoft doesn't care about Windows Vista anymore. But as far as Windows 7, I'm not going to be able to give away keys because they can be used to activate Windows 10. Same goes for Windows 8 keys. They can also be used to activate Windows 10. So for that reason, I am not able to give away any product keys for any Windows version higher than Vista. So setup is preparing your computer for first use. Oh joy. I gotta say, for a mechanical hard drive and an AMD Athlon X2, this computer's pretty fast. I gotta say. It went through this is one of the quickest Windows 7 setup processes I've gone through so far. Well, pretty soon it's going to want the product key, so I'll go ahead and pause the video here. Yep, there we go. Call this CMP HTPC-PC, because why not give it a unique name, right? I will not be setting a password, and here's the product key. I'll pause here. I will come back in just a moment. Alright, looks like my product key worked, so we'll go ahead and use recommended settings. Set it to Eastern Time. It thinks it's April, but we'll go ahead and set it to the correct date. Today is September 29th, 2020. It is currently 2:59 p.m., so we'll say 3 p.m. Let's change the... oh, I guess I have to select it first. Now, don't I? And there we go. Windows 7 Home Premium is finalizing your settings. Yes, I am using my boxed... I am using my boxed original copy of Windows 7. Oh, and the activation period expired. How wonderful. Well, we're not going to do that right now. Well, we're not going to... wait, why is it out of grace? That's weird. Because normally the grace period is 30 days to activate, but, that's weird. That's very peculiar. Well, I guess I'll have to activate immediately. I mean, I could run System License Manager rearm, and that would fix it, but yeah, no, that's... wow, okay. I'm almost wondering if it has something to do with the date. Oh, you know what? No, that is what it is. That is what it is. It's because we changed the date, and we didn't rearm. That's what it is, so... doesn't look like it got the audio driver, but that doesn't concern me too much right now. It looks like it got everything except the audio driver, so yep, Windows 7 Home Premium, Service Pack 1, 64-bit. Go into Device Manager, and we'll just... because usually we can get the audio drivers through Windows Update, but... go into Device Manager here. Oh no, I got high definition audio device. So, I guess it's just because we don't have any speakers or headphones plugged in. Oh, yeah, because no speakers or headphones are plugged in. That's why. It just had the icon down there as if it didn't have any drivers. And I'm like, wait a minute, how could it not have gotten the sound drivers? Alright, well, you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm going to plug in the Ethernet cable here. And let's see if we can't get this copy of Windows 7 activated. Just, if I can find where the Ethernet is, there it is. Go ahead and plug in my Ethernet cable. And there we go, yeah, it's telling me Windows is not genuine. As if I didn't already know that. So we'll go ahead and set this as a work network, because this actually will probably recognize my domain controller, and it does. So let's see. Let's use the automated phone system. I mean, I guess I could do it online, but I doubt that the activation servers for Windows 7 are still up. So you know what? Activating Windows 7 in 2020 after end of support time. Alright, just grab my phone here. And just respond to somebody. And then we'll be on to activating Windows 7. So, United States. Okay. Here we go. I'll put it on speaker so you guys can hear.
Welcome to Microsoft Product Activation Center.
Para continuar en español, oprima 2. Pour continuer en français, appuyez sur le 3.
To help us improve the quality of our products, services, and training, this call may be recorded or monitored, and information collected on this call may be accessed by Microsoft affiliates, subsidiaries, and service providers internationally. To consent to recording or monitoring of this call, press 1. Or to continue without recording or monitoring, press 2. Thank you. This call will not be recorded or monitored. For security purposes, please enter the following number on your phone's touchtone pad. 860. Thank you. Welcome to Microsoft Product Activation. Now, which kind of product would you like to activate? Please say Windows, Office, or say it's something else.
Windows.
Okay, Windows. Are you at your computer with the activation screen open? Please say yes or no.
Yes.
To reduce your effort, we can activate your product using your smartphone's display instead of our audio self-help system. To get started, I'll need to send a text message to your smartphone. Carrier text and data rates may apply. First, are you calling from a smartphone?
Yes.
Good. Should I send you that text message?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, so this is what happens when you do the activation by text method. You click on one of these, and this is what you'll get on your phone. Just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, I'm going to type in the installation ID, and if this succeeds or fails, I'll let you guys know. 1 second. Another successful activation. And you know what? There we go. There's your confirmation there that this was successfully activated. So yes, the question is it still possible to activate Windows 7 after end of life? Well, you probably already knew the answer was yes, but yes, you can. So now that we have Windows activated, we should be able to go through and personalize a little bit here. So we should be able to get rid of this gray wallpaper, or this gray, wow, Ben, am I colorblind? No, this black wallpaper. And we can finally set it back to the proper Windows 7 theme. I'm surprised it didn't disable the arrow theme. That's sort of interesting. But there we go. Windows 7 successfully activated almost 10 months after end of support. So Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show Windows 7 is still your friend. And honestly, you know, reflecting on all this, you know, I don't believe Windows 7 is truly dead yet. Even though I made that video back in January about Windows 7's end of life, honestly, I think our good old friend here, Windows 7, I think until Windows 8 runs out of support in 3 years, a little less than 3 years, I think people will still use Windows 7, because you can even download the new Microsoft Edge on Windows 7. You can't even install Office 2K19 on Windows 7, yet you can install Edge on Windows 7. So you still have a supported browser. Chrome still supports Windows 7, Firefox still supports Windows 7, Opera still supports Windows 7, so I think Windows 7 has got at least 3 more years until program vendors start forcing people to go to 10, but I think it's going to be a very similar scenario to how XP and Vista support was ended, you know, where you know, when they'll end support for both Windows 7 and Windows 8 at the same time, like they did with XP and Vista. Let's go ahead and take a look at that hard drive. I think we had, I wonder if the recovery partition's visible, actually. Let's see. Mechanical drives. Gotta love them, right? Yep, there's the recovery partition. 11 gigs free? No, there's no way. Yeah, well, no wonder. Looks like the malware might have corrupted it by deleting the actual image and only taking 1 gig away from it. Wow, okay. Well, there you have it, my friends. Installing Windows 7 Home Premium on a thrift store find. And you can tell that this computer really needs an SSD in it. Yep, Windows 7 Home Premium, Service Pack 1, 64-bit. I also noticed that this computer does not have a hard drive activity light either, so might be worth it to disable Arrow on here. Anyways, we're going to shut down for now. And I guess the next thing I'll do is I'll show you that Windows Vista key, so hang tight, 1 second. And there is the Windows Vista product key. I know the last couple digits are sort of scratched off, but if you can decipher that key, you can have it, because Microsoft does not care about Vista anymore. Anyways, guys, that's all for this video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.